Timeout talk. Timeout talk.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talks, which is sponsored by Chase and Thrills custom T-shirts and accessories, the Ice Shaker, and of course, we are streaming on the one and only Minifan Network. Josh and Ben back here on a Tuesday. We've got Red Sox. We're going to have some playoff stuff for you guys. You know, Ben and I have been previewing this Bruins and Celtics playoff pushes. We're going to continue to do that because the playoffs haven't started yet, but both your TD Garden teams have clinched. We've got tons of stuff within the Patriots organization. I'm just kidding, but we've got the Mike Vrabel, Diana Rossini resigning today. We're going to dive a little bit into that, see what Ben's thoughts, see what my thoughts, some non-biased Patriots fans' thoughts are on that. And, of course, we're going to dive into our first NFL mock draft tonight, actually, which was submitted by my brother, Shane. He has, I mean, Ben, he might surpass me soon for ball knowledge, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But first, unfortunately, we got to talk about a team, Ben, that I'm gonna let you take the reins here. But your Boston Red Sox, who I'm just gonna say it right now. What is the panic scale for you, Ben? Because for me, it's pretty high.
No, it's definitely high, Josh. It's very high right now. And it was pretty tough when, you got the first three guys averaging, I think it was 200, 106, and 130. That's Roman Anthony, Durden, whatever his name is, Kobe Durden, whatever. He stinks. I don't even want to think about this guy. Like I said, I kind of Durbin, whatever his name is. I kind of divert to Josh and Jimmy for that stuff. I mean, he was supposed to be good. I don't know. I don't know if he's, I think he's young. There was some buzz around him before the season. I guess he had a good year last year. Obviously, only 16 games into the season, but he's really not showing me much on there, Josh. And that's, as I said, sort of last week, those are the two guys we're cushioning with Roman Anthony, who still we're not cutting him any slack. We're not trying to just, give him any excuses. Bad 200. He needs to do better. Nice. He's got that Kool-Aid going.
It's Mio. Shout out my Uncle Sean. Shout out my grandmother for providing me with this. Mio. It's pretty good.
Mio solid. Hey, they can give us a little sponsorship. Hey, if anyone's from Mio wants to give us a little Mio sponsorship.
Maybe they can give the Red Sox one and throw a little more money in John Henry's pockets.
Yeah, listen, Josh, and that's just another point too where we're going at. 12th on the payroll in the MLB. That's just not going to cut it with the Red Sox. I mean, a team like Boston, you're 12th. And I actually was listening. Obviously, this is my baseball knowledge is coming from Josh, Jimmy, and 98.5 too. Not going to lie, but you've kind of see this shift in culture as soon as they got rid of Dombrowski, Josh. Dave Dombrowski, for his faults and everything, they always found something to make fun of him and everything. But the man spent money over here. He constructed some great rosters for us. We had some tough years in between, but it was always first to last. And the main thing is he went out there and he threw the money around. He's not putting us 12th in the middle of the league right now. You see what he's doing with the Phillies, Josh. I mean, he's just reconstructed that whole team, and now they're one of the top NL teams out there. Why? Because I like that. It's pretty much the 98.5. We just make fun of all the New England teams. Well, we're a little more fair sometimes, I think. But no, I just think it's really just right there is the biggest issue, Josh. I know we can sort of look at the batting average, and last night too, Garrett Crochet, which is probably the most concerning thing, not throwing a strikeout. Josh, I know obviously can bat around and those first couple innings. I think he let up 4 runs in the first, one of those early ones. the velocity doesn't seem as good as last year. I know there's some injury concerns possibly out there for him. Maybe he's nursing an injury. He's tipping pitches. Maybe they're catching on to it. I know those two were thrown out there, but the most concerning thing with me, Josh, from last night is that 0 strikeouts. I mean, that's from the ace, from the number one in the rotation. If you can't even get one out there, that's concerning. Chapman, the bullpen's just not being able to sustain anything either. The bullpen's having some issues. We're not even getting the bullpen a chance, giving them a chance sometimes. So it was for the panic scale. I'm not going to go. I think you went 8, Josh. I'm going to go 6. I'm going to go 6. Went in 2 out of 3 in those series before. I was good, even though I don't know why we keep beating the NL Central teams. I don't know why we want to be an NL Central team. We just keep beating, I think, all of our wins so far this season are from the NL Central, so I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it's a little concerning on that one. But no, ultimately, I think winning those 2 out of 3 from the previous series brings this back down. Okay, that's a solid one, Jeff. You never know. You never know that. That looked all right with that Drake May MVP one. That Drake May MVP one turned out to be pretty decent for you, so keep that one alive. Never cash that out, but Josh, no, this team's I don't think they're good enough. I don't think they're good enough. And some of the money where they spent, and Sonny Gray had a good game. I think he had a good game against the Brewers. He's been stepping up. Yeah, he's been stepping up sometimes. But also, it's Sonny Gray. You're not getting the back in the day Sonny Gray. So we got to know what we're getting out of him. Ranger Suarez is still struggling, but Josh, I just don't think we're good enough. And like I said, the way we're spending, we're not going to be changing any of this soon because we're paying guys like Durbin. I just can't keep calling him that. I'm going to keep calling him that. If I got it wrong, I got it wrong, but he just stinks, Josh. Oh, you're on mute too, by the way. He's muted.
No wonder why. I was looking at my metrics over here on the producer level. I'm like, what's going on? I'm talking, it's not yelling. So, yeah, no, I 100% agree. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him either. I know they got him from the Brewers and that 3-way trade or that trade that they did. You hit it on the nail. I mean, you hit it right on the nail with Garrett Crochet. I mean, you look at last night, I think it was, 1.2 innings of 1 inning, barely got out of the second inning, let up 11 runs. They were down 11-0. I think whether it was the first inning or the second inning, it doesn't matter. I mean, ERA yesterday was 54. And he hasn't looked the best this season, Ben. He hasn't been on top of his stuff. The guy that you talk about money, throwing around money, look at Dave Dombrowski, who's been doing a great job with the Phillies. If not, I mean, you hit it on the head. They are just completely the definition of consistency. I know they haven't been able to get over that hump, but the NL's been loaded. They got to run into the Dodgers. Not going to totally fault them there. At least they're competitive. But you look at the Red Sox, they go out, they throw this money at guys like Suarez, Sonny Gray. I'm not crazy about Sonny Gray, but again, doesn't do it for me. Not a huge fan. Jeff, interesting comment there we'll get to. But then they don't have talent. They don't have the talent, and they think they throw this money at the Rafaelas. And I don't even know if I said it last week. Christian Campbell, they gave him a huge deal. He came in onto the team. He's not even playing with the active roster right now. I know you look at the Yankees, you can say the same for Dominguez, but I don't even think they gave him as long of a contract as they did Christian Campbell. Roman Anthony's kind of, his arm's been kind of an issue. Is he injured? I think he'll be okay. An overall consensus here, I know the panic scale, Ben said I said 8. I didn't officially say a number. It's funny. I was going to go very similar to the number as Ben, but I'm at a 7. And the reason why I'm at a 7 for the Boston Red Sox is the talent's not there, the pitching's not there, and their manager and upper staff, upper management hasn't been there. And let's call it for what it is. Alex Cora has put them in a couple tough situations, Ben. We look at one of those games last week. I don't know if it was against the Cardinals or the series before that. It was kind of like, it was the last time Crochet had pitched before today. And it was kind of like, why are you keeping him in there? He let up a run, and he had a phenomenal outing. He went like 7 innings, or not phenomenal, but good outing. And then he kind of let him muster there. And then what happens? The Red Sox actually ended up losing the game. They had a lead. Crochet gave up a run. He's pushing 100 pitches. And it's like, dude, I don't think we really have to be throwing him out there for 100 pitches this early in the season. I mean, I know he's the manager. He gets paid to do it. I don't. But I think it's just all around right now a 6-10 team for the Boston Red Sox. And that's what you're seeing. That's kind of a little lower than where I wanted them to be. on our weekly check-ins that we do on this show, but right now it's panic time. And the reason why I panic is because I don't think the talent is there to do this, Ben. And quite frankly, I don't think that this organization is going to go out there to give them the talent. They're going to go out at the trade deadline. They're going to make a inky-dinky trade. They're going to say it's contract friendly, and they're just going to stash another average player and put them in a position, an infield position or something, some area of need, and they'll patch it up and say that worked when, just like you said, 12 team, middle of the league, pretty much middle of the league in payroll. Don't expect to do much if you're sitting there.
Yeah, and that's just weird. I mean, okay, yeah, I was wondering where he was going to go with that one, and hey, you never know. With the way they're doing things over here, they might, and like you said, Josh, Alex Cora, some questionable decisions. We don't know. Maybe he's upset with the roster. Maybe he's upset with how it's been constructed this offseason. Maybe he's trying to just stick it to. See, I don't even know. High Bloom's gone now. Craig Breslow, maybe he's trying to stick to Craig Breslow. All of them kind of just merged together now. So maybe he's trying to just send them a message. But I think everyone's just not in sync, Josh. Everyone's all over the place. Pitching's all over the place. Hitting's not doing what it's supposed to do. And like you said, management's just, Alex Cora has been managing like he's been doing the past couple of years. We've been seeing mistakes that he just normally doesn't make. So, and just cherry on top, the guy that kind of stayed the ship the whole year last year, Garrett Crochet, that was the only thing that was sort of consistent. You knew what you were going to get out of him every time. You could pretty much just pencil in that W for him. If he's on the mound, now it's a question mark. And he's the best guy out there. And as you mentioned too, Ramen Anthony having this thing. We have a little fun with him, but I mean, I agree with Josh too. I think he's eventually going to calm down, and he's still very young. He's going to have a great season, but we're seeing some consistencies from him too. So I mean, those are supposed to be two of your staples, and they're a little shaky right now. So, and that's on top of a very shaky roster. So it's just, that's going to be the major point from this one. This is a 12th in the payroll, 12th team in the payroll of the whole MLB. This is what you're going to get. You're in the middle of the pack. You're going to get a middle of the pack team. And like Wilson Contreras too, he's been good, but just another signing. Is Wilson Contreras really going to do it for us at number 4? Is batting cleanup, is that really going to win us some games out there? Probably not. So it's a little tough for us right now. Not like Josh's Yankees. To be honest, I kind of just threw that out there. I don't know if the Yankees are doing too good. I think they had a losing streak. Bad luck. That's what I like to hear. Join us down there, but. I know Josh, like I said, you went 7. I'll go 6, but they gotta figure something out fast.
I agree, Ben. And looking at the Red Sox schedule right now, I know we talked about the Yankees. Yankees started off 8-1. They've lost 6. I think it was 5 in a row. They finally won one last night. Absolute banger of a game between Mike Trout and Aaron Judge. Both guys going back. I mean, just top of the class stuff. I mean,
Mike Trout's back.
Come at Mike Trout. I know he had an off year last year. This guy is one of the best baseball players, probably the best baseball player I've seen in terms of just longevity. I know Ohtani will probably surpass him, but again, want to give our flowers to Mike Trout. Unbelievable. 2 homers last night. Judge 2 homers last night. Great matchup. I know Joe Adell, a guy in fantasy, just hit a home run off Ryan Weathers. Yankees right now, I mean, I don't know what the hell they're doing with him. They got him from Baltimore. It's just not working out. But with that said, before we turn over to, I saw Tyler commenting about a team I wanted to talk about and get Ben's thoughts on it. But before we turn over to a team that just is making a playoff push potentially, Red Sox. They've got Twins tonight, Twins tomorrow night, and then they go Tigers, and next week Yankees. So we'll finally see an early Red Sox-Yankees matchup, which we will get to next week. And, of course, the Red Sox just win this series against the Twins. I know they won the last series against the Cardinals, so if they can just continue to keep that rolling, good things will come. But moving forward, I saw Tyler. He beat a couple peeps to the punch here. Your Boston Bruins, finally, they're back here after a couple seasons. They clinched the playoffs, missing 2 seasons in a row, I believe that is. Somebody wants to fact check me, they can. Sean Corrali having a goal the other night. These guys have been corralling. And Ben, I want to say one thing before. I know it's not really open. I know Ben and I were kind of talking before the show, and Tyler and myself too this past weekend. We don't know who we're going to play yet, but it's a mixture of things. It could be the Sabres, it could be the Lightning, or I might not be the Lightning anymore. It could be the Devils. There's a couple of things that could happen. Bruins got their last regular season game tonight. But interesting stat, Ben. I know me and you were talking about this last week. Goaltending. It is the lowest that it has been in. Oh man, I saw the. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. Goalies' historic struggles. Overall save percentage for NHL goaltenders under 900. For the first time in 3 decades, on pace to be the lowest since 1994. So Ben, even though we are casuals, we do know enough. We hit that. I was literally looking at that
There's
earlier.
got the stat. He's nailed that stat right there.
I was looking at it earlier, and I'm like, Ben and I were talking about this, and I don't know if it's stuck at all. Like, are we idiots or no? We nailed that right on the head. So Swayman playing a little better. I guess he kind of contrasts that's fact that ESPN came out with, and hey, maybe that's a big reason as to why the Bruins are winning. So I know me and you are the first to get on Swayman. It's one of the toughest positions to play in sports, but he's been a lot better as of late.
Yeah, no, and of course, that's like you said, as we were calling them out and everything, and we're the casuals too, but as soon as we called some of these guys out, Josh, I don't know, they start playing better. I don't know if we got the Bruins numbers or what, but we're just the casuals over here, just killing it with that stat. Usually I get some of those wild stats, but I like that one, Josh, and it's just what we need from this team. To be honest, I'm kind of high. I was looking at the playoff bracket too. Like it's just pretty much synced up with us for the Sabres. But looking at that other one, Tampa Bay, Montreal, we'd be playing the winners of that one if we won that one. So I'm kind of interested in that matchup. The whole landscape of the NHL playoffs is looking pretty great this year too. But no, I think as Tyler said, this is. I know. I know the Sabres have been the hottest team since the NHL break and everything, but they're still very young. I mean, if you got a bruising team like the Bruins that can just take it to the Sabres with their physicality and can rely on guys like Swayman and Korpisalo to have a good game to just give Swayman a little rest in between, and some guys like Zaka, Arvidsson, some of these other guys to just step up. Yeah, you just need these guys to just step up. You're going to have to get some of these unknowns to just win us a couple games, Josh. It's McAvoy and Pastrnak obviously going to have to do their things and everything, but some of these other lower guys that not everyone knows and all that, especially some of us, the casuals, are going to have to start taking some of these games because much like the Red Sox, this Bruins team is limited with talent on the roster. So we're just going to have to do what we can and rely on Swayman and Korpisalo to kind of help us out a little, which at times is a little shaky, but as Josh said, Swayman kind of hunkered down at the end. But I think it's just exciting. And you were right, Josh. The last time Bruins were in the playoff was the 2023-24 season. So been a couple years. Always good to have them back in there. Josh killing it with the stats today, 3 for 3. But
that's something I feel like I have to know.
No. Come on, we have to. It's just been a while. It's been a long time. So it feels good. I mean, and we're probably going to get into something like this too. So that's why you got to hunker down those expectations. Just let's just go into this. It's just going to be great to see Bruins playoff hockey because I wasn't expecting it this year. So, but yeah, Pastor will definitely do something that will make him question how good he is. Like, what are you doing out there, Pastor? He definitely has some head scratching moments, but I think this is a good matchup for us. Young Sabres team, let's take advantage of that youth and just try to take it to them, just with the physicality, and I'm just going to impose our will on them. So let's go Bruins. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is locked. It's like 99% sure it's locked up unless something crazy happens tonight. I forget, like you said, there's another game in hand that could kind of affect this, but this is pretty much all the matchups we're going to see. So I'm excited, Josh, and let's go Swayman.
I like it. Bruins, as Marianne. She's our live, updater here. Up 2-0 against the Devils. This is their last regular season game. And right now, Ben, as Tyler said, he came in here. He kind of beat everybody to the punch, transitioned us right into the next take. They're going to be taking on the red hot, and Tyler said, the talk of the town in Buffalo. I don't know if I agree with that, but he said the hottest, the most exciting team in Buffalo right now, the Buffalo Sabres. As of now, ladies and gentlemen, things can happen. This is what makes the playoffs fun, and this is what makes those final games very interesting. The seedings can kind of change, but as of right now, Boston Bruins and the Sabres will be going at it, Ben. Bruins up 2-0 right now, which helps us. And, I mean, Ben, we don't have to look too far down the hall to see another team punch their ticket. I'm pretty sure the Celtics clinched that number 2 seed. They've clinched. Okay. We lost to the Knicks last week. I was like, man, I want to get on Timeout Talks, talk about a few things. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But, Ben, I mean, I can't come on Timeout Talks and not talk about the fact that the bench and the role players stole the show against the Orlando Magic a couple days ago. Absolute masterclasses from Ron Harper Jr., Luka Garza, shout out Iowa. That guy, of course, from Iowa. I don't follow too much college ball, whether it's football or basketball, but I do know that. But those guys balling out, and of course, Baylor Shireman. I mean, he had a crazy game against the Knicks. He has really turned into essentially another Sam Hauser for us, if not better at this very moment. And he's like the Kyle Korver, JJ Redick that the team didn't have. So Celtics right now, interesting. They got that second seed. Obviously, we need to see what happens and how things pan out. But right now, Ben, who are you the most worried about in the Eastern Conference if you are the Celtics?
Oh, good game. There we go. Good game over there for the Bees. But I don't want to be easy, Josh, on this one, but I'm going to have to take the easy route and say the Knicks because no offense to the Pistons and everything, but I don't know. We're looking like a wagon. I think the expectations have shifted for this Celtics team, and I think the expectations to get out the East, Josh. I mean, with Tatum, we weren't expecting Tatum to come back playing like this. In addition of a guy like Vucevic, that's huge for us right now, and we've seen the impact he's been making for us, just solidifying the big man rolling. We didn't expect Kata to have a year like this. I mean, just that 1-2 punch, and as Josh mentioned, Luka Garza's even stepping up. Guys like Ron Harper. Making clutch and making some crazy threes for us and everything. Payne Pritchard balling out as always. Derek White balling out. And we thought, losing, KP and Porzingis and Drew Holiday, crucial guys, core guys would, dip this team a little. And that's a fair sort of assumption, Josh. I mean, those guys were huge for this championship team and just sort of these playoff runs. But everyone's just stepped up into these new roles, and we just haven't missed a beat. Losing one of the best players in the league, everyone stepped up. JB proved himself and asserted himself into the MVP candidacy, and I think one of the best players in the league as well. So I think the Celtics are. I know you were asking who you're most scared of, but to be honest, Josh, I'm not really scared of anybody right now. I think we have the best team in the East. Just looking at the Pistons. Youth and inexperience. I know they got Jalen Duran, excuse me, the most improved. I think it's Jalen Duran. The most improved player from last year, and Cade Cunningham. Knicks or Cavs? I'll go Knicks. That's ultimately. I keep stammering around over there. I am the most scared of the Knicks. I think just from last year, you got to be as a Celtics fan. You got to be most scared of the Knicks. I think you can handle every other team. I know people say, Cavs. I don't trust the Cavs with James Harden, and the Pistons are the next bet for the people. But I just think they're too young right now. They need to go through some of those bumps and bruises like we went through. So I'm going to go with the Knicks because they got the talent like with Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and Cat, and they can play decent defense when they want to with Bridges and everything. But and Mitchell Robinson out there, but they tend to have some lapses as well throughout the series. But they proved it against us last year. They punched us in the mouth. We had Tatum. I know Tatum obviously wasn't there the last couple of games. But Tatum was there for the majority of the series, and we still lost. So I think the most scary opponent is the Knicks, just based off that talent, Josh. But I'm really not scared of them too much either. And maybe I'm probably going to get clipped for this, and once if we do lose to them or anything. But I'm really I think just the way this team's shaped out, Josh, we should be the new favorites in the East, and expectations should be different now.
I agree. You look at the Boston Celtics right now, and quite frankly, kind of lagging there a little bit. Quite frankly, I think they're the best team I think they're the best team in Boston, in the Eastern Conference by far.
Could be in Boston too. I'm saying
It could be in Boston
be.
too. That is true. But yeah, Ben, I mean, they've got pretty much the same staff, same core, and like I started it off with the segment saying, I mean, they're so deep. I mean, Ron Harper Jr., these guys, they can all do it off the bench. Their guards are super versatile. Hugo Gonzalez has taken leaps in leaps in what's the word for it?
Bounds.
Leaps and bounds. There you go. Thank you. This is why leaps and bounds better than we thought he was going to be.
We're a good team.
Special. We are a good team here, Ben. And yeah, I mean, the Celtics are too. I think the Knicks are the one team that matches up the best with the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference. The Pistons, you hit it on the head. I'm not too worried about them. Cavs, James Harden. As James, I agree with James. Me and James are very much in sync when it comes to NBA. We're dead on the money with this, or he's dead on the money with the fact that James Harden's just not a winner. I'm not a crazy Donovan Mitchell guy. And again, history just shows like we've beaten them time in and time out, and I think we'll do it again. I'm going to kind of, flaunt a little bit as a Boston Celtic fan. I'm wearing the green. I'm wearing the green for them.
The green.
At the end of the day, Ben, I think right now they're a playoff team. I think it really just comes down to that Western Conference, and it comes down to the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks definitely have my attention. They beat us last week, but the kicker with that and the nice little assurance is the fact that Jaylen Brown didn't play. And some people, I know Tyler himself even said it this past weekend, some people say the team's a lot better with Jaylen Brown if you could take one out or the other. They're a lot better. I think this season they're obviously a lot better. I'm more of a Tatum guy. That's just me personally. But, hey, the ship goes where both the Jays lead us. And, of course, in the NBA, you've got to have a very deep roster. And at one point I was going to say earlier, too, with the NHL, Bruins, same thing kind of with the Celtics here. I think there's one sport where the talent really, 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 really matters in the playoffs, and that's obviously the NFL. I feel like NHL, you can kind of squeak by. As long as you get hot, same as baseball. But basketball, similar to the NFL in a way where you got to have the talent and you got to be deep. And I think this Celtics roster is pretty deep, and it's just Josh Hart. Something about Josh Hart and something about Cat. I know James hates him, but they just match up very well with us. They have my attention. I have the blinders on. But as Ben said, and those stupid chants that they were saying, Knicks in 6, all that stuff, they're not going to beat us in 6. We will get revenge. Tatum was on the cusp of an injury last year. And we'll see the Knicks again. And I think we got a chance there. Here we go. Shout out Ben. Shout out Ben C, my godson. Although James Harden, like poison, he now has role players like Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. That is true. Sure. I'm a huge Evan Mobley fan, and I do think some people thinking, hey, maybe Donovan Mitchell just needed a sidekick. I know you can kind of, they're like 1A, 1B. I would lean Donovan Mitchell in terms of some of those arguments, but that is true. I mean, you can put James Harden with some talent. He can score. He ain't getting back on defense. So I think that will be a tough call for the Celtics, and I like it, Ben. Me and my godson here just in sync. I agree. He's poison. He's poison when it comes to the playoffs. He just can't get it done.
Yeah, no, it's just no offense to Harden and everything, but facts are facts. He just hasn't won any of these series. He's just always come up short, especially in that Golden State one back in the day with the Rockets up 3-1. They had it. I mean, him and CP3, you had his sidekick over there. You had everything. You had the role players, and you just still couldn't do it. But what else is right? I do actually like that big man duo a lot in Cleveland. And like Josh said, I'm not in love with Mitchell either. I'm kind of, sometimes he just looks great, and then sometimes I'm like, is he really the star? I mean, he's a star, but like how much, how far can he go over here and everything like that? But no, the sneaky team is too. I think the Hawks. I was trying. I think his name's Jalen Johnson.
Jared would love that. Jared would love that.
I mean, I know it kind of. I guess I could just throw into my other sort of my answer too, because they're playing the Knicks. So I think whoever wins that 3-6 seed Knicks versus Hawks matchup definitely could give us some problems on there, and we've seen the Hawks give us problems all year. They got a good young core. Ever since they got rid of Trey Young, they've just been rolling. I think just subtraction by addition over there. I think getting him out of there was good for everybody. and they just let some of these younger guys step up, and they got a good young core, Josh, over there. So that would be a little like a sneaky team just to watch out for. But even guys like Baylor Shireman, these guys just stepping up, Josh. I don't want to just keep sucking up to the Celtics team, Josh. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm looking at the East landscape, and I just don't see a team better than them. We're just deep, and these young guys that we had questions about before the season are playing above expectations. And Tatum has come back without a step, and he's ascended. JB's he's been here, but now I think everyone realizes how good he is now. Just without Tatum and how he kept his team afloat without missing a step. So. Yeah, I can never really just trust the Knicks. I know obviously they beat us last year and everything, Knicks in 6 and all that stuff they're chanting, and it's just tough for me to trust that team. Just another, we're talking about James Harden, they just haven't won anything in a while. They just always know how to find a way to choke. So I think we'll be looking to get some revenge on that one. But yeah, ultimately I think the Knicks are our biggest threat, and I'll give a low key for the Hawks too. Just low key watch out for the Hawks.
I like it. And right now, if we were to look at this, Celtics would be the 2. They'd probably play that 7 seed. Could be anywhere from the Miami Heat to the Hornets to the Magic to the 76ers. And right now, the Knicks would play the Hawks. So if Ben can just keep it going the way he's saying, maybe that could be a nice little matchup for the Knicks in that first round. And then, of course, the Celtics and Knicks would be primed, depending. Cavs could jump the Knicks for that 3 seed, but they could be destined for that second round matchup, maybe that Eastern Conference, depending on what happens. But it's going to get interesting, and I think right now I have to keep saying it. I think the Boston Celtics should be fine, pending injuries. I think they will find a way to the NBA Finals. I think the biggest thing that concerns me is the Western Conference. I have a really hard time looking at that Celtics team and saying, yeah, they can beat this Thunder team, or yeah, they're going to go and beat the Spurs, because those are just another 2 tough.
Yeah, the
matchups.
West is West is
it's where it's at.
Sorry to cut you off, Josh, but no, those West matchups. I mean, Nuggets, Wolves. That's just going to be a great playoff series over there. That one's going to be. A monster one. I'm just looking at the other one. LA versus Houston. I mean, that's just you feel for you want to see these teams as far as they can go, but I mean, these are just some great first round matchups. It's going to be, some teams that deserve to go a little further are going to get sent home a little early in the West. That's just how stacked the West is out there, and obviously OKC and San Antonio sitting at 1 and 2, waiting for those other teams to get the play-in settled. But no, I'm just excited, Josh. Excited. We got everyone back into the playoffs. It's playoff time again over here in Boston. So I think that Celtics going to go a little further than the Bruins. I'm going to maybe back that horse a little more than the Bees, but it'll just be fun to watch both of them, Josh.
For sure, both TD Garden teams sneaking on in there. But one question, one comment earlier that stuck out. Masshole, he's always hopping in here. He's a reliable fan. Whoa, we missed this. I should be able to. No, I don't think so at all.
No. I mean,
I think he was probably trying to make a joke off. Yeah.
They should be. I mean, listen, they've been playing. They've been playing up to that level sometimes. But Shireman.
I was gonna say maybe at the 2, in a big game.
Shireman, even though sometimes he still gets a little slack from the announcers and everybody, especially Shaq and Chuck. They still really don't know who he is out there. They kind of make fun of him, but no, Shireman. Yeah, man, Shireman is solid out there, I think, and Jordan Walsh too. Jordan Walsh had a great first beginning of the season. Kind of cooled down, but I mean, yeah, he's
finally
just,
like a depth forward. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's just what we've been trying to get for this whole time, and just again, I'm not trying to keep crossing sports, but I mean, management compared to this Red Sox management, Brad Stevens just does laps around him. I mean, he just finds these hidden gems, and he just turns these guys into just reliable and just role players for this team. And it's just this is just another fun team to root for. And like we said, I'll go back to we'll get it back to the Patriots on this one. Patriots have peaked. I was, two guys that I liked over there. I don't hate them like I used to hate the Brady and Belichick days, but Drake May and Mike Vrabel's saying, have they peaked? I don't know if they've peaked, Josh, but it's trouble in paradise over there. Trouble in paradise. Listen, I don't want to say it, but you can't say it. Kind of confirms it with the Rossini resigning, but I know we can get into this one because they've given me plenty of slack for my the Steelers stuff over the years, which is rightfully rightfully so. The Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, was a great quarterback and everything. Wasn't always the best out there and everything like that. So, but not comparing those situations. Just saying, the Patriots in a little hot water right now. Too, Mike Vrabel. I don't think it's gonna, hurt too much of his credibility, Josh, but I think it takes a little hit with that locker room. I mean, he's a big rah-rah guy, Josh. Everyone rallies around him. He's got that persona. He's got that energy. Everybody wants to play for him. When he says, first in the lockup, Josh TMZ. Josh has got it. There they are. Like we said, hey, we can't. There's no confirming it or anything, but her resigning pretty much confirms it. There was no pictures, but when you're in a hot tub and you're supposed to be in those NFL meetings, I don't know. Not a good look for Vrabel, but ultimately, I don't think this is gonna kill him and everything. I think people are still gonna want to play for him and all that. But it's gonna take a hit, and I think ultimately, Josh, the biggest one. The biggest sort of retraction from this, or negative factor, I should say, is next season, because expectations are already much higher than the season before, and you got this whole first place schedule. You don't have that easy schedule anymore. I know the Pats fans are going to love me talking about that again, but you don't have that easy schedule again. You're playing the first place teams. That's true. There we go. But I mean, and now just this off the field distractions that Vrabel always preached against, and that's what I think was a big buy-in from everybody. He said, I'm not saying like family. That's what he was saying. He's family. You come first in, last one out. You just leave it all out there. People rallied around him, and he handled that. Diggs, let's go Bruins. Diggs had a lot of the off season, obviously the boat incident before the season, but Vrabel handled that, and winning made you forget about that stuff, Josh. So I think this is probably going to be a similar situation. If they don't do too well and they start losing and they're not looking as good as they did last year, then they're going to point to this situation, Josh. They're going to point to this distraction and say, what was going on here? But if they don't miss a beat and they still play up to that level they played last year, it's going to get swept under the rug a little, like that Diggs and everything. Because, I mean, listen, he did something wrong, but I mean, are we going to really kill him? Like I said, I know I brought up the Big Ben. That's totally different. Ben is a whole different situation on that one.
I get where you're getting at.
Yeah, there's just a distraction off the field stuff. This isn't. Yeah, and this
like
isn't
in terms
like
of your
any
quarterback,
other.
your coach. I totally get
Yeah,
it. I totally
the leadership guys, Josh, the guys that people look to. And this, like I said, this is I'm not going to kill Vrabel for it. This is just such an easy joke now. I mean, now I can just slip adulterer into there and get any Pats fan. But ultimately, is the whole locker room going to turn on him? I don't think so. I don't think the whole locker room is going to turn to him. He's still that great leader, that's still great motivator. He's going to get this locker room to buy in somehow, some way. I think he'll get them bought in this season. But if they start losing, Josh, it's the distractions, the stories are going to pile up. A lot of questions that are going to have to be answered, and I don't know if he wants to be answering some of those questions. So I think this ultimately, don't hold anything against either one of them. You do what you got. You do what you do. It's your life. You do what you do out there. But just from a guy that always preached no distractions and just sort of that type of thinking, Josh, it's just he created a hell of a distraction.
1,000%, Ben. Yeah, I thought this whole thing was going to be pushed right under the rug, and it did it. it caught steam quick. It just kept going and going and going. You heard rumors of the NFL looking into this, and the Athletic and the NFL hiring investigative reporters, and that's how they got these photos that were sent to TMZ. And it's a messy situation, and I think you hit it on the head perfectly with the Stephon Diggs comparison. You look at Diggs last year; they lose that first game of the season. Everybody, the boat. Is it going to last? When he leaves, it was the boat. It was always the offseason. Again, I've been a huge proponent of he screwed the Pats in the back. That's my take. As a Patriots fan, don't agree. Or I think it's more of a sentiment of same old story with Stephon Diggs. Pats fans want to say he bought in. He buys into every building that he's in, and then the same problem comes and occurs after. And I think it's a little different with this situation, but I didn't see this coming. I thought, oh, man, this is a fake thing. AI has been kind of crazy. Just this Vrabel, he preaches leadership. And, the reason why I think this gets very interesting, Ben, and as you've mentioned, it's a very different standard for her as it is for Vrabel because she holds a certain journalistic what's the word? As somebody who both of us
integrity.
Integrity. Thank you very much. She holds a very, high journalistic integrity, and it's tough look. Her resigning, absolutely, in my mind, anybody. This is an open challenge like the WWE has. Please come into the comment section and explain otherwise as to how something didn't happen. You don't just resign from your job because a rumor happened. So I like it, Jeff. I like trying to just quickly get us off this. But then
it's just like Zolak.
It's very it's very funny, and it's very fitting how I've been hearing all this stuff about Cowboys this, Cowboy that, your head coach sucks, yada, yada, yada. I had to hear all season long about Vrabel and leadership and that. And again, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it definitely raises some eyebrows. And I'm going to tell you right now, Ben, you are dead right. They go 0-2, they go 0-3. They are going to come right back to this Diana Rossini situation. And I think one thing that makes it very interesting, Ben, that a lot of people aren't thinking about is the fact of negotiations. You talk about that integrity. They got a big deal coming up on the line for A.J. Brown that everybody won't shut up about. And guess what? Who did a lot of reporting in the league and who would go back and forth? This is what these reporters do. They get an intel, they go back and forth, they scoop some back. You think Adam Schefter isn't giving the scoop to the Eagles and giving a little bit to the Patriots and trying to play middleman there, and that's how he gets this information to tweet out? 1,000%. So the fact that now you're sleeping in bed and you're bringing your work into the trades, it gets kind of interesting there. So interesting she resigned. Again, I'm not pointing the finger, but I'm definitely pointing the finger, if you know what I'm saying. It's like the Spider-Man meme, but this is...
We know what happened. We know what's going on.
We know what happened, and it's just, it's funny. It seems like there's always something with that organization, and I always get crap for being a Cowboys fan, but it's always something. I'll leave it at that, Ben. I'm sure we will come back to it. And guess what? Okay. It's going to roll right into our next thing, which I've been hyping up for weeks. Because next Thursday, Ben, I don't know if you know this, it's already the damn NFL draft. It's already the NFL draft. We've been hearing crazy things. They won't stop with my Cowboys. They might be one of the teams that trade up for the third. I don't like that, Ben. I'm going to tell you that right now. But let's see what Shane's got here on the table for us. We'll take a look at what he's got and what we think. I got to get rid of the banner here, but a couple trades. Had your Steelers making a move.
Oh, wow.
Ben, what do you think? What steps out to us here? First mock draft of the year.
Well, it's the I don't know. When did he put this out? Did he put this together like this week?
This was sent to me last night, so this is very recent.
Okay, no, I just want to know. I just didn't know if he nailed that Ruben Bain one. Obviously now with the new emergence of that careless driving sort of incident with him out there, he's just saying, because I just didn't know if he nailed that. I'm like, damn, Shane, I don't know how because if Ruben Bain it was just him going, he was top two. It was either 2 or 3. Yeah. It was him and Bailey being just sort of juggled back and forth between each other. If the Jets take one, then the Cardinals just grab whoever else. But no, that's a big one right there too. Ruben Bain Jr. And I really don't want his Chiefs to get Caleb Downs. There's a guy I think who can sort of have another Kyle Hamilton impact to that team like he did with the Ravens. I mean, this guy's going to be legit. This guy, whoever he falls to, is going to get a stud. Yeah, I would love to get him. I would love to see a trade up for him over there. But just looking at the Steelers one, love to get an offensive tackle in there. Spencer Fino, not really too up on him and everything. But hey, if Shane says he's good, I'll take him out there and everything. That's what we need. We need some offensive we need somebody to protect the quarterback, whoever that is. Please don't be Aaron Rodgers, but if it is Will Howard, I just need as much protection as we can for him. But no, I'm just looking around. I'm looking to see where the Cowboys are. Am I just missing the Cowboys or Jared McCoy? Okay, I don't really have Gennard McCoy. Yeah, cornerback. That's what you guys need over there. But no, I think for the big one right there, 7-8-2. It's for Carnell Tate, sort of the Tyreek Hill replacement. I like where he went with that one. Mekhi Lemon, Chris Olave replacement over there for the Saints. I think it's a solid Josh. I think he had a nice little mock draft over here that Shane did. The top. Am I really in love with this draft, Josh? No. Jeremiah Love could have that impact that Saquon Barkley's had. Everyone's saying this. Everyone's, I'd love to see. I'd love to see the Titans take him right there. I think the Titans got to do that move, pair him up with Cam Ward, go get him the wide receiver later on. But I mean, if you got Cam Ward, Jeremiah Love, that's a solid start. But no, I think he nailed it. I think he nailed it, Josh. I'm just trying. I don't want the Ravens to get Jordan though. That's another guy. That they said Mel Kiper was in love with them, just, had a little inconsistent year. Arizona State quarterback situation wasn't all that together this year. So that's kind of a little explanation for a lack of production from his end. But I think that's a really good player, too, that you're going to watch out for. And this Ty Simpson, he loves this Ty Simpson. I don't get this Ty Simpson stuff out of here. I don't think they've known. I don't think they knew Jeff. I think that just came out. I don't think anyone knew about it. I'm sure, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm always hesitant to stay away from that stuff, Josh. A little. I'm always once you always get one of the top picks and then something come out like that, I'm always hesitant just to stay away. But I'm happy. I'm happy with it.
Yeah. Just
Denzel Boston too. Sorry, Josh. Denzel Boston. That's a good pick for the Pats. That's a good one. Nice little Washington wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean that's something that they pull it up, Josh. Here we go. They did. All the insiders said teams are aware. Pull it up, Josh. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Pull it up. Hey, listen. Listen. I was wrong. I guess. I don't know. I just felt like, if they knew about it, then why did everybody have him so high up? And now he's suddenly, he's been dropping. He's been dropping in some of the mock drafts now. So that's just what I've been confused about. But
it is.
I don't like that Amari Cooper too. What's he's got the Browns just revamping this whole offense? I don't like that.
It's interesting. One thing that's funny about the mock drafts is now I'm seeing Sonny Styles might be there for the Cowboys if they go up to 10. I'm seeing a couple things. I've heard a lot of interesting things. I think, you look at this mock draft, we know off rip. We know the number one. It's usually like that every year. Number two, what did the Jets do? I don't think that's so much of a lock, but number three is really where this draft picks up, I think. I think, two, the Jets could look to come off it. They do have another first-round pick in this draft. He's actually got them trading with the Steelers, which is interesting. And if you're the Steelers, not bad. Maybe you do want to move up for an offensive tackle. Ben doesn't like it. You don't like it, but
I want that Amari Cooper.
That's
my guy.
I think I'm going to say to my original one, next week, Ben and I will have our mock drafts for you. We probably won't have it in this detail. We will have the top 10 followed with our 3 picks, as we always do. But I do like this, Shane. I might even do a full mock draft just to supply the show with it. But Ben, a few things that stick out to me here. I know we talked about. I think I really like the top three. I actually do think that the Arizona Cardinals are going to trade out of that spot. I don't see why they wouldn't. I've gotten like animated about this. They're an organization that does not have the needs right now to go and get another player. They need more assets, and there's nobody there unless they thought they were going to go get Fernando Mendoza at the number 3 position, which is not going to happen. There's nobody there that's going to reshape this franchise, obviously, and Arvel Reese is great. He's got this talent, but I think if you're the Cardinals, go get a haul, go trade back with the Cowboys, go get 12 and 20, make some couple plugs, tank this season, and then get another 3 next year. And now you've got the 2 players and the 3 to load it with next year. I think that's the talk of the town for this draft. I think the Dolphins stand out to me as well, and I think Shane hit it on the head. They've got a couple moves to be made here. You look around at the Browns. I actually disagree, Ben. I think the Browns need to go all in on defense, on offense. They need to go get a tackle. They have no wide receivers for Shador to throw the ball to. Heck, if I'm the Browns, I'd even go 2 offensive linemen, because how many times did Shador Sanders get sacked last year? But I actually do like this. I think a lot of offensive linemen going in that first round, which I actually think I've heard a lot of. But one interesting one here that really stuck out to me, and I think would definitely touch the eyes of the New England Patriots fans, is that Denzel Boston. Because if they were able to go out and get Denzel Boston, Ben, here at 31, you would assume they're not going to go get A.J. Brown. I could be wrong. I was under the impression, again, everything's all rumors, but I was under the impression that the Patriots were going to treat this 31st pick as if A.J. Brown was in the building. Again, we'll wait to see how that plays out. But yeah, Mekhi Lemon being the second wide receiver to fall off here, I think that's pretty meta. And then, of course, the big gamble here. Like I said, for my Cowboys, this is what I'll talk about, and then I'll turn it back over to you, Ben. I like the Caleb Downs pick as well, going to the Chiefs. They need a lot of help on defense. They've been gutted. But you look at the Cowboys, we've got 2 picks. I don't want to trade them, Ben. I really don't. If they do something like go up to 10 with the Bengals, I'm making this up, this wouldn't happen, but if they go up to 10 or they go up to 9 and then move back to like 27 or something, I don't know how they would do that. Like if they shuffled around some picks and they moved around some pieces there with the Dolphins or something, and they went to 7 and then they said, all right, Dolphins, we'll do a pick swap. We'll do 20 for 30. I want 2 picks in the first round. I don't want to go all the way up for a number 3 to go get Sony Styles and just say, hey, we did it. Yeah. We solved our defense, because that's not going to just solve it. You need more pieces to the puzzle. And one thing that scares me here too is people are loving the defense. It's a very high defensive class. I know I like it, Ben, because I'm very excited for defense, as the Cowboys need that. But a lot of players and a lot of teams aren't as excited for defense. And that's why you kind of don't see as many trades. But one thing I want to say here, I do not want to see the Cowboys. I really am anxious about them going out and getting Jermon McCoy. I know he was supposed to arguably be the best corner in this entire class in terms of before that injury, but this is another Chavon Rebel situation here that you don't want to have, where he comes in after an ACL and he's just, comes in late. He's not ready to go. He's already skipping things, and it's just Cowboys don't have time to play around, Ben. They have to go all in. And one thing I will say is I do like some of that offensive line protection there for the Texans, because, man, did they need that offensive line protection in that wild card that playoff game when they got their behinds kicked by the Patriots.
Yeah, no, that's good too. And just looking at the Seahawks too, just bolstering that cornerback too. I believe they lost Kobe Bryant in the off seasons. I know they still have Devin Witherspoon, big one of the best cornerbacks out there. I think maybe should have been MVP of that Super Bowl too. A little biased from that pick, but no, I think that's just a good supplementing that talent back on that defensive side, trying not to miss a beat. But no, Shane, always appreciate Shane for putting this together and everything. And listen, those are good moves from the Browns too, Josh. I was saying, I just don't like it as a Steelers fan. I don't want to see the Browns make those moves and take Amari Cooper from him. But no, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, they just load up everything on offense, much like the Cowboys for this draft. Everything defense. I think Browns essentially every pick should just be offense and just trying to retool and give Shedeur Sanders as many weapons as possible because, like I said, he's don't really know who's throwing to anymore. That Jerry Judy's gone, and that offensive line was pretty awful last year. Yeah, which I still like, but I mean, non-biased fan, they need to clean that up.
And I absolutely love that. That is music to my ears. If the Browns go out and they get a wide receiver and everybody starts getting all antsy, and I love the Jeremiah Loves, like, take all the offense in the first 10, 11 picks, please. Besides Bengals. I like the Bengals. They're my AFC team I like to look out for. So go get defense, but don't take my defense. Don't take my Monsoor Lane. That's who I want. Or an Arvell Reese, but we will talk more about this next week. Want to thank everybody for tuning in as always. And of course, we'll be live next week with a little show update. So I will keep that tuned for you. But other than that, mock draft special next week. It's going to be highly NFL thrown at you. And of course, as always, going to turn it over to Ben. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Echoing that as always. Thank you for everyone to tuning in. Always great comments from everybody. Just keep it simple. Red Sox stink. Great to have the Bruins and Celtics back in the playoffs. Let's go. As Josh said, everyone tune in next week for those draft mocks. And Steelers, go get Amari Cooper.
Timeout talks. Timeout talks.